Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry, Chuck. We'll get you next.
Just to kind of follow up on what you said, the fact that some of the times the best ideas come from either people in the media or the fans or somebody with a sponsor. You know, you talk about how open NASCAR is being with the drivers. Do you think they need to be more open with the fans and the media and, and have these conversations?
Well,
it seems like this year that with the changes, that possible changes to the schedule, possible changes to the chase, all this stuff that's going on, it is kind of like a benchmark year where they're trying to make massive changes to make the sport better. If you're not telling the fans what's going on, don't you think there's a disconnect there and they need to be involved?
I think the fans need to be involved. I don't think there's any question the fans need to be involved. I also think that I disagree with you. I think that the fans have been more involved this year than they've ever been involved. There's a reason we have double file restarts. There's a reason we have the green-white checker. There's a reason we have spoilers back on the cars. Those things didn't come from us. I can guarantee you the competitors didn't sit down and say, well, let's green-white checker. Let's double file restart. That didn't come from us. That came from the fans. So, I disagree with you. I said that at Daytona, I told you guys that the fans are running the ship. The fans are the ones that were saying, we want this, we want this, we want this, and that's what they got. So, I think the fans have been more, they've had more of their opinion has been expressed this year than at any time in NASCAR's history. That's my opinion.
Chuck, back in the back.
Jeff, question a little off that. I'm not going to ask about George Carlin's 7 list of words or list that you're going to have that you can't talk about.
Well, you can say them. I can't. So for great entertainment, if you want to roll them down, it'd be fun for all of us.
Where did I get?
Y'all might want to turn that camera off.
I want to ask something about Pocono and schedules and attendance, like all wrapped into one. As a competitor and as somebody who's very sensitive of what the fans want, would you like to see these 2 Pocono races separated by more time, for no other reason than if you're running the same people into this place and we're having an economic problem, but how about from your side, logistics, et cetera? Could you talk about how you feel about that?
First of all, my side means nothing. I'm a professional race car driver. If they have a race in Australia this weekend and then one in France the next weekend and one in Miami the following, I'm going to be at all of them. It doesn't matter to me. My opinion means nothing, and nor should it. It's about the fans. The fans want to come here 2 months apart versus 1 month. I think that should be considered. But every time you move this race, it affects another race. So there's got to be a balance in where the races go and where the fans want them to be and when they want them to be there. It's not about the competitors. It should never be about the competitors. We're getting paid to do this, and if people want to complain about getting paid to do it, then go do something else. I mean, it just shouldn't matter for us there's things that are more convenient. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to race some Saturday afternoon races. And by the way, I could. All I got to do is go run nationwide. But I'd love to do that. The quality of my life would be a lot better. But I'm getting paid to do this. So wherever they have the race, that's where I'm going to be.
Anything else? Okay, right here. Brian.
Jeff, you talked about the fans driving the ship, running the sport. When you talk to fans, they always talk about the old days and the good things that they remember, the great finishes and so on. But statistically speaking, these days are a lot better than those, even though many are finding a lot of things to complain about. If you give the fans exactly what they want and they take it back to the old days and things aren't as good as they thought they were, at what point does NASCAR or the competitors, do they have to balance what the fans' opinion is with what they know is for the best?
We glamorize history. I'm a World War II buff, and it's a whole lot cooler now than it was when it was actually happening. I mean, when it was actually happening, it was hell. And today you watch it, and it's, wow, man, it's really cool. We glamorize the way things were. Someone asked me about post-race stuff a little while ago in a different interview, and the first time I'd ever thought about this. Kel, Donnie, and Bobby all fought in 1979. They all got penalized. What's different? I mean, honestly, what's different? And the only thing that's different is there's more people that have a chance to win the race. There's more people that have a chance to win the championship. There's more people that can run in the lead lap. There's more people that can lead laps. They all got penalized after the race. Guess what would happen if we did that? We'd get penalized after the race. We glamorized the way things used to be. If we want it the way it used to be, we can do that. Nobody's going to like it. And, that goes for almost everything. I mean, air conditioning's pretty cool. It's not working very well in here, but, we talk a lot about history, and don't get me wrong, history, what you did then is why you're doing what you're doing today. And if we don't look back on history and learn from it, we won't progress as a sport or a society or as a people. But the fact of the matter is, these are the good old days. And I mean no disrespect. The history, you guys all know, I respect the history a great deal. And there's no question in my mind Richard Petty could go in one of these cars and win races and win championships. There's also no question in my mind Jimmy Johnson could go in those cars and win races and win championships, okay? I'm not comparing eras. But I am telling you that from a competition standpoint, from a quality of race standpoint, from the number of people that have a chance to win a race, from the number of people that have a chance to win a championship, there is no comparison to today to the history. None whatsoever.
Okay, back in the back. Maybe take one more question. Go ahead.
Yeah, John Bryan from the Focus in northeastern Pennsylvania. Based on what you just said, are you saying that your wife would not let you get back into a car with the old leather helmet and just a single seatbelt and a T-shirt?
I wear the pants in my family.
Well put.
In other words, no, she wouldn't. Those men were brave, and when you go watch the old races, when you watch the original Indy 500s and you watch all that stuff, man, I'm telling you, those guys every one of them was Chuck Yeager. I mean, they were brave, they were tough, but you know what? They didn't know any better, and that's people ask me all the time, do I feel safer today than I did when I had an aluminum seat with no headrest and a 5-point harness with the 1-point harness twisted around to make it fit right, an open face helmet. I don't feel any safer today because I thought that was the safest you could possibly be back then. So everything's relative. But those men, they were real men. There's no question about that.
Jeff Burton, thank you so much for being in here. We appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.